how to download a background to use in your animation. Go into Google image search. I'm going to type in Hubble, and that's the Hubble telescope. I'm going to click on Images. Click on Search Tools and change the size to exactly 1920 by 1080. And those are pixels. And that is HD television. 1920 by 1080, also known as 1080p. Click on Go. Now, not all of the images will work, so I've found one earlier, and I'm going to click on that one. And now I'm actually going to click on View Image, and you can see it's quite a high resolution image. And now I'm going to right click it and say Save Image As, and then go to a folder I created earlier where I'm saving all of my files for this animation. Done. Okay, now I'm going to show you how to use SketchUp to download some models from the SketchUp warehouse. So I'm going to start SketchUp now. And you should choose Template, Architectural Design in millimeters. Start using SketchUp. And if you don't already have the Get Models button, you can click on View, Toolbars, and make sure that the warehouse is on. That's that one up there. And now click on Get Models, and you type into the search box click on Search, and you will have a variety of different models, all different quality. So I think I'm going to try this one and click Direct Download. Press Yes. If it doesn't work with the one that you choose, try a different one. Now I'm going to click a little bit further back than the person that's standing there. Click once. And now I'm going to click this button down here on the left, Zoom Extents. Now if you don't have the large tool set, click View, Toolbars, and you might have the Getting Started tool set, not the large tool set. I usually like to put the large tool set on, press Close, and then the three red arrows with the magnifying glass will zoom out, and then I can use my mouse wheel like normal. Now, this is a problem that happens sometimes. You see a very large blue rectangle around your object. So what I really want to do is open up the group by double-clicking it, and select only the model that I want. And now I press Ctrl X, which will delete it from the scene. Then I'm going to click out here somewhere. And now I'm going to press Ctrl V, which will paste it back in the scene. And if I press Ctrl A, you'll see that there are no extra objects anywhere. Ctrl A basically means select all. And you can see there's no extra boxes, no extra little things anywhere, which is great. But if there is, you can always delete them. Now I've got just the Millennium Falcon, and I'm going to delete the person. Okay. Step 2. Go up to the File menu, click on Export 3D Model. Find the folder where you're keeping all of your animation files. I've made a folder on my desktop called Space Animation Files. Open that up. Now, where it says Export Type down here, make sure you choose OBJ, and then click on the bottom right where it says Options. It's very important here, and you can see that you've got some options here, and you want to make sure that your materials are on. So export texture maps. and you also want to click on Swap YZ Coordinates. This button at the top here, I'm not too sure why it's grayed out, but it basically means that if you have an object selected, it will only export that object rather than the entire scene that's in your SketchUp file. So if you've got several objects in your SketchUp file, you can select one and export only that one object by clicking that button there. And I press OK. I'm going to name this, but I don't want to change the OBJ at the end, so I'm going to select only Untitled and change it to Millennium Falcon. And then click on Export. Excellent, that worked. Now I'm going to show you, you should also say File, Save As, and save this as a SketchUp file too. I'm going to call it Spaceships, because I'm going to download a few more. Save. Of course, this technique works with your own models that you've created as well. So now I'm going to type in X-Wing Fighter. If you're a Star Wars fan, you'll know all these spaceships. And there's quite a good one down here somewhere. I think it was this one. So I'm going to click on Download. Yes. Going to click right here. And you can see that this one has a very strange bounding box around it. So what I'm going to do is click on it, double click to open the group, select only the X-Wing, and it looks like there's another tall bounding box. So I need to double click it again, and now I can select just the X-Wing, press Ctrl X to cut it, exit that group, exit the original group, press Ctrl V, paste it down there, and if I get my selection tool and I say Ctrl A to select all, you can see that this thing is still here. So I'm actually going to get rid of that by selecting whatever those little things are and pressing delete. Okay. One last step is I want to select that and rotate it 180 degrees. So you should know how to do this, but I grab the rotate tool. Do not put the rotate tool on the object, but put it on the ground near the object. Click once to establish the rotation center. Click a second time, in this case on the red axis, going to the left, and then rotate around all the way until the red axis going to the right. And now I can move it back. Now, with this spaceship selected, I'm going to say File, Export, 3D Model. Again, make sure you save it into the correct folder, so Space Animation Files on my desktop. This time I'm going to call it X-Wing Fighter. The .obj stays there. If I go to Options, you can see that Export Only Current Selection is tick marked, which is exactly what I want. Okay, and I also want Export Texture Maps and Swap YZ on. Then I press OK, and I press Export. It's taking a while because it's a large model. If these steps crash your computer, then it's worthwhile downloading a different model, perhaps that is less complicated. This is okay. I'm going to save my SketchUp file again. Just say save this time. And we're ready to import the background and these spaceships into the final animation software. So stay tuned.